with Brandon Aiyuk. He sat down with Tim Kawakami on the TK podcast.
Really, for Brandon, it's just I want what's best for him, and if he requests a trade, I hope that he gets to go somewhere that's best for him. And I have no bad blood with Brandon. It's always and each contract negotiation is so different and so unique. I think everybody in the world knew what Bosa was going to do. It was going to be a holdout until they paid him exactly what he wanted, and that just is what it is because that's what his brother did. And I just think every contract negotiation is just so unique, and so and I don't know any details about Brandon's either, besides just trying to remind him that contract negotiations are like braces, and they suck the entire time. And when you get them off, you have a nice, pretty smile, but millions of dollars in your bank account. So it's just whatever's best for him, and I try my best to not ask questions about that stuff because I don't want to lie to you guys. I actually have no idea what's going on. And but again, it's just I'm going to focus on what I can control, and I wish the best for everybody.
So, George Kittle, on how he's dealt with Aiyuk's absence.
All I know is that currently, right now, we have a really good roster, and I'm just going to try to attack it every single day with the really good roster that I have. And because if you think about the future and stuff like that, I remember being told in 2021 that if we don't win it this year, the window's closed. And we've been in 3 NFC Championship games since then. So the window hasn't closed. John and Kyle and Jed have done a great job about figuring out a way to, whatever metaphorical window, keep that open. And we do a good job with that.
So that's George Kittle yesterday. Now I'm seeing a lot of stuff on the text line say, well, if you trade for the Steelers, the draft conversation is to go get Devontae Adams. I don't even know where that's coming from. We just assume that Devontae Adams is going to get traded from the Raiders, and we assume that he's going to be a 49er. I don't know. Again, have we learned anything from the Warriors offseason? It takes 2 teams to tango. All right? We may want something, but what do they want? You know what I'm saying? We got to stop with this stuff. We have a second-team all-pro wide receiver in our building. We're quibbling over a couple $1 million. Now I'm getting annoyed. And now it's probably likely that Brandon Aiyuk is not traveling with the team to Tennessee.
If you had to prioritize, if I forced you to prioritize one or the other, Trent or Brandon Aiyuk?
Brandon Aiyuk. And I'll tell you why.
So you're kind of with me then.
Well, no, it's a little different in the sense that I want to take care of my young wide receiver. I know he's going to be here, and I need a weapon for Brock Purdy, a trusted agent for Brock Purdy. You look at all the great Super Bowl winners, they always got to target Mahomes and Kelsey. You know, see Brady and Edelman, Brady and Gronk, Montana to Rice, Montana to Clark. You just look all across the league in the history of the league. Bradshaw to Lynn Swann, Bradshaw to John Stallworth, Roger Staubach and Drew Pearson. All these guys have a guy that you can count on when you throw the ball up. Brock Purdy trusts Brandon Aiyuk on crucial third downs. You want to nitpick about numbers and this and that. Not you, I'm saying, but anybody out there. Crucial third down touchdown plays. Thanksgiving night against Seattle. I could go all down the list where Aiyuk, the Green Bay drive. Detroit, third down at 3 makes the miracle catch. And then on third down, boom, quick slant touchdown on third down from the 7-yard line. We want to get rid of our trusted agent, so I'm taking care of Aiyuk first. I'm telling Big Trent, I know what Trent's going to do. He's not for with the way he operates, Trent Williams, about his money, he ain't leaving $23 million on the table. He'll just show up the week of the first game because he ain't going to sell out his teammates. He may not be happy, but he'll come back for week 1. I truly will call Trent Williams bluff and say, you're really not going to play this year for us? After we traded for you to bring you out of Washington, an absolute dumpster fire with Dan Snyder. We revived your entire career. You've never had more fun playing football. So I would call Trent Williams bluff. You want to stay away from camp? Fine, stay away from camp. I'll see you week 1 against the New York Jets. But I'm taking care of Brandon Aiyuk because I don't believe for 1 second Trent Williams is going to miss a game check.
No, I don't either. And the irony, too, though, if it did go down that far, I actually think you can get more for Trent Williams in a trade.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm doing that.
No, I'm not going to, but I'm just saying I think you could. If we're asking just straight up value, I think you can get an automatic first round yesterday from a variety of teams.
Yeah, probably not going to do that now.
No, you're not going to.
I hear what you said.
Trent. I admit, I want Trent.
5-1-0
but they already paid him. They gave him a ton of money, guaranteed up front, and now a couple years, and he's acting like he's not going to see the 20. Just say what you want. No, it's not about guaranteed money. Trent wants $8 more million. That's what he wants.
And listen to this. 510, Extreme Mobile Text Line. Another good point. Ryan Tannehill was never the same out of A.J. Brown. And I don't think Ryan Tannehill's that good, but he lost A.J. Brown, and he was done.
Come on.
He was done. As Tennessee, and that's where Ross Tucker, he lost me with, just trade him. You can find a bunch of Brandon Aiyuk in the draft. Well, Tennessee drafted Burks in the first round from Arkansas.
Treylon Burks?
Treylon Burks.
Yeah, I might be mispronouncing.
Hasn't worked out well yet.
No.
For 2 years, he's been a bust.
No.
So it's not that easy finding replacements for all-pro wide receivers.
Well, just because Minnesota moved Diggs and got Justin Jefferson, I mean, that's like hitting the Holy Grail. Right? You know what I mean? Like, how many teams do that? You trade one all-pro and you get a Hall of Famer.
Well, the Niners tried to trade. Was DeForest Buckner all-pro with the Niners?
Yeah.
Well, they tried to trade.
And they got
Ken Law, and he's on the New York Jets.
Yeah, you can't even play.
So
I'm with you. It's just I'm exhausted by everybody with their hand out at the collection plate, just basically saying that they're broke, and I'm tired of hearing it. Trent, you made $180 million. Isn't this about getting that one thing that's elusive in your entire career, the Super Bowl ring? Like, well, like honest, and this is the thing. Like, oh well, the money, dog. The only thing missing from your resume is a championship. And you're making it more difficult to win that championship. You're going to be compensated through the roof.
Yeah.
Like, to me, you want to talk about the GR word, as in greedy. This is as, like, high greed as it gets. Yeah. I'm just being real, dude. Like, come on, dude. Like, when's enough? You need $8 more million? Well, that's what it's boiling down to.
I'm not going to go there, but he is under contract. And he's gotten multiple contracts. Multiple contracts.
He doesn't have guaranteed money.
No, he does have guaranteed money.
He's getting the $20 million.
Difference is, Aiyuk's trying to cash in. This may be the only time Aiyuk can cash in and get a big-time mega deal. Trent's already had a couple. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not sitting here pocket watching, but they made you the highest-paid player after you threatened everybody saying, yeah, I'm going to go visit Mahomes in Kansas City.
The dumbest thing I've ever heard now, I'm banning the phrase pocket watching, because literally what Trent is doing is he's like, Penny Sewell and Tristan Wirfs got money? Yeah, I need to be paid higher. That is the definition of pocket watching.
No, it's just I got to get mine. I got it. No, it's not even pocket watching. It's just, I'm happy for those guys. I'm happy they're making 28, but I need to be known as the highest paid left tackle in football. It's really weird. Cam Newton told us last week, right?
You were named that for the last 5 years.
He said it last week, right, Lubman? He was like, this guy stuck us for another $10,000 per year just to be above David Bakhtiari to say, I'm the highest paid left tackle in football.
There's a pettiness to it in what he's doing. Exactly.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'll be petty then. How about you don't false start on the most crucial drive of the entire game, of the entire season, of the entire Kyle Shanahan regime? How about you don't hold? How about instead of getting front runned and dancing coming out, the second you have a tiny little injury on the team, you're throwing swings on the Eagles, you're looking like a punk. That's what it looked like to me. And I'm telling you, we all like Trent. He's a great player, but there's a front-running aspect to him at times that honestly bugs me. It legitimately bugs me.
So, I mean, look, you really want to lose Brandon Aiyuk over a couple $1 million, $1 million or $2 million that you could stretch out, and you could restructure this deal. You could structure it in a way that it doesn't kill the cap. And I get that Lenore is going to be around and Travis Ward want new money and Aaron Banks. There's going to be other guys who come off the books. We're really going to lose Brandon Aiyuk when you have a chance to build off an offense that averaged 29 points. Like what we saw last year with the 49ers, we hadn't seen since the 94 team. They were as explosive, as deadly as that team that won a Super Bowl. And we're really going to lose Brandon Aiyuk. And I'm with TJ Houshmandzadeh. Jed York, where you at? Just don't let this happen. Don't let this happen, because you can already feel the vibes. You can already hear from the players. They're not distracted, but they know. They know if they lose Brandon Aiyuk, boy, we're not as good as we were.
No.
We're not as good, because we just don't know about Ricky Pearsall. We haven't been in the foxhole with them yet. We haven't been in the foxhole with Jacob Cowing. We think Juwan Jennings is good, but boy, Brandon Aiyuk is good on every damn down. We could play him at every spot in the offense, every single play.
It's just frustrating. It's just really frustrating. You know, I don't even know. Like, it's just $2 million for Aiyuk. He just needs $2 more million.
How about this?
On whatever. Then Trent needs just another 8 or 9. Just another 8 or 9. It's like,
here's
so much money talk.
He says Shanahan needs Brandon Aiyuk.
Kyle Shanahan is like, he's a headstrong person. He's a great coach, but he's a great coach that should probably have 2 Super Bowls also. Let's go back to Atlanta when you're calling the plays. You should have won that. You should have won this past season. Patrick Mahomes throw the ball. Get that ball to Christian McCaffrey. Game's over. You guys, you're a Super Bowl champ. And so just like there's some missteps that BA may have taken, Kyle Shanahan has had missteps also in coaching in the biggest games of his career. And it doesn't get easier by getting rid of good players.
Now, Husmazada also acknowledged that. He also acknowledged that Aiyuk may regret leaving this situation.
I've been in this situation when I left Cincinnati. Now, we ain't talking about the type of money that he getting. I wasn't getting nowhere near that. But I was in, so let's clarify that. But I was in this situation, and I just always feel like it's better when you stay with your team. It is. They know you very well. You know them well. You go to a new team. Okay, let's just say, for instance, you go to the Steelers. Who the quarterback? Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, and then they have a young receiver in George Pickens that once the ball is going to get his target. Y'all have to navigate that. They already have a system with the Niners where C-Mac gets his touches, Kittle gets his touches, Debo gets his touches. It's just different. And so I just feel like when I left Cincinnati, I was just like, man, I should have stayed. And I think BA may have that if he was to leave San Francisco.
I agree with him.
I do too.
100%. The thing I don't agree with what he was saying is like we're still blaming Kyle Shanahan as a coordinator for the Super Bowl. You know what I want to start doing from now on? Marv Levy did not lose the 1991 Super Bowl. It was Bruce DeHaven, special teams coach. He's the reason why Scott Norwood went wide right. He's the reason. Bruce DeHaven lost that Super Bowl, not Marv Levy.
No, who's the D-line?
It's the most absurd thing I've ever heard.
Who's the D-line coach the next year when he was mocking the Hogs of the Washington team? And he got fired shortly after the Super Bowl. Washington just cleaned their clocks in the Metrodome.
How did Dan Quinn not get?
That's
crushed?
what I'm saying.
It's the most look. We can Shanahan lost as the coach, lost 2 Super Bowls.
Yep.
But this thing that Dan Quinn,
I agree,
is just fully exonerated for the Atlanta Super Bowl. It's the most insane thing I've ever seen.
A defensive coordinator, a defensive-minded coach who had a 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl, and Shanahan gets to blame. Again. I got the game log. I went over this one day. Nash Solomon was getting on my nerves with it one day. So BS&G, I wrote down during the show. I was sorry, Guru. I wasn't listening to you guys that day. But I literally went through the game log, watched the game. Hell, I did a tutorial at my house. Last year, we were watching the Spence Crawford fight at Big Dog City House at Wet Philly Zoo, and I had the game on, and we went through every single play because I was adamant that how can you guys keep blaming Shanahan? Hell, in Cabo last year during the All-Star break with Baby Chance swimming around the pool and added this guy I met from Atlanta. Oh, I feel bad for you guys. You got Shanahan. I was like, why you feel bad for me? All he's going to do is blow another Super Bowl like he did for us. I said, you really believe he blew that Super Bowl for you guys? You are dumber than rocks, dude, if you believe that Shanahan blew that Atlanta Falcons Super Bowl. It's like saying Marshawn Lynch shouldn't have got the ball at the 1-yard line against the Patriots. No, he should have gotten the ball at the 1-yard line against the New England Patriots.
And I'm glad you bring that up because I was literally going to go to that. Who was the offensive coordinator? Was it Bevel? Was it Darryl Bevel?
Darryl Bevel.
You know who I blamed? Pete Carroll. I blamed Pete Carroll, the head coach.
Right.
I blamed Pete Carroll.
The head coach in the DC with a 25-point lead, and we're blaming Shanahan for that.
Imagine 25 years from now, Robert Saleh lost us that first Super Bowl against the Chiefs. It was Robert. Robert.
No, it's people. Steve Wilkes blew the Super Bowl last year. Even though the Chiefs had 19 points going into the overtime period.
It was 16-16. I just watched the receiver. Right. 16-16. Everyone's
19-19 going into overtime.
It's just,
you know what?
Don't even start me because that, honest to God, that Super Bowl loss, the Detroit game was its own thing. Dan Campbell not going for the field goal, then later on going. He was just all over the place. Dan Campbell just so foolish. I am never going to get over. I think that loss, as bad as the first one was to the Chiefs, and it's its own entity, we can argue till we're blue. Losing that Super Bowl.
Yeah, you know what?
I feel like the team still hasn't gotten over it. Everyone's got their hands out. We're just in collection.
I'm blaming Greg Roman for losing the Super Bowl against the Ravens.
The downfall is near, and it's coming hard.
I'm blaming Vic Fangio for letting Flacco go crazy. Who's our special teams coordinator that year when they lost to the Ravens? And Jacoby Jones, rest in peace, had the kickoff return to open up the second half.
Bruce Miller was held on that play.
Yeah, there was a lot of holdings on that play. Jerome Boger.
Bruce Miller's been held a few times.
Jerome Boger. We don't need to go there. We don't need to talk about that. Jerome Berger was a lead official, and I remember leading up to that Ravens game, they said there was another referee who spoke out. I was like, how did this crew get the assignment? They're the worst crew in football.
Shocking.
Hey, remember they were on the field. One of the guys pushed the referee, and then John Harbaugh was all on the field when they were going into a scrum. It was a disaster. But who's the special teams coordinator that year? Let's blame him. Let's blame him for that loss.
All right.
Sick, man.
Oh, our good friend Brad Seeley.
Let's blame.
Let me give you some
Brad
names.
Seeley.
I love Seeley mattresses.
Remember Jeep Christ?
Oh, I do. Quarterback coach. His son played at Palo Alto High School.
Yeah. Oh gosh,
Jeep Christ.
Jeep Christ.
It's a fake name.
Oh man.
Beep,
yeah,
beep.
let's blame Steve
Who got the
Wilkes.
keys to my Jeep?
Let's blame Steve Wilkes. Let's blame Steve Wilkes. Unbelievable, man.
You know, I was thinking about it.
This whole situation has made me sick, man. Because I'm thinking about 3 wide sets with Pearsall and Debo and Aiyuk or Juwan Jennings and McCaffrey and Brock Purdy. And that's the thing. Brock Purdy's going into a contract year. How's he feel about losing his top target? He's throwing interceptions every damn day in practice. You don't think he'd love to have number 11 out there?
I'm going to be real with you. For the first time in a long time, quarterback isn't even a thought on my mind. I know what Brock Purdy's going to do. Like, he's going to be really good. Like, that's what Brock is, dude. Like, Brock's the Rock, dude. He's ready to roll. I'm not worried about him at all. It's all the other dudes and all the other stuff that's going on around him. Like, he's the least of my worries. The absolute least of my worries.
I guess I should calm down, as Chicago Jason on YouTube says, because Aiyuk is still a Niner at this moment. Certainly don't sound like the players around him or the coaches are talking like, even Kyle Shanahan, they talk about it like he's already gone. And they've acknowledged the fact that, he's talking to other teams, and we just want what's best for BA.
Didn't CMC call, say, former teammate or something the other day?
Basically said former teammate.
So I guess the 49ers, this is per Diana Rossini.
Yeah.
This morning, the 49ers are still in communications with the Browns and the Steelers. The Niners have yet to move off the initial $26 million offer. Aiyuk wants to remain a 49er and even moved his family to San Francisco during the offseason.
Wow.
SF prefers a wide receiver or a premium player in return.
So now we're asking for the world. The Niners, the organization misplayed their hands. And this is on Parag. And you know who can fix it? You know whose Q rating could go up if he does fix it? It's Jed York. And Jed York, and I don't even want to come down Jed York's road because he's dished out plenty of guaranteed money to the team. Over $470 million he's given out to the team. So I got no issues with Jed York. But he can make this right and tell Parag, just chill, give him the extra $1.5 million. I'm trying to hang a damn banner. I'm trying to get number 6 for crying out loud. I'm trying to get number 6. Our best way to get number 6 is if I get Brandon Aiyuk in the camp and get him on that field and let's go. Come on, man. He moved his whole family out here. He doesn't want to go nowhere.
I live with these people. I love these people. They're part of my family.
We're talking $6 to $8 million over a 3-year span. That's it. We're quibbling over nickel and dimes. Come on, man. Let's go. I'm tired of talking about this nonsense. Oh my God!
But okay, again.
And we sure Brock Purdy's going to be this elite without his weapon? Are we ready to trust Ricky Pearsall? He can't even stay on the field.
No, I'm not ready to trust Ricky Pearsall. I'm ready to trust Brock. Brock's really good, but Brock is good. Every quarterback in the league needs weapons. This is not Brock exclusive.
Right.
This is football. What do? All right, I get my quarterback. All right, I want to have a good defense. And what else do I want to do? I want to protect him, but I really want to load him up with weapons, right? Every team in the league, literally every team in the league, like, that's what you want to do. That's team building 101. All right, you got to get him his weapons, and yes, you got to give Trent his $8 million so that he's happy and he can say that I'm the highest paid left tackle. It's just.
We got to get this done because we need to get ready for the New York Jets. We have to get ready for the New York Jets and Sauce Gardner and Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson. We got things to get done, man. The Super Bowl or bust. And it's been like that here, whether you like it or not, for the last 5 years. And we got to get it.
If we did a GoFundMe from Niner fans for the $1.5 million difference, the $2 million difference, do you think people would not? They'd say, nope, they're greedy, or they would contribute to the GoFundMe?
Oh, I think these fans would contribute to the GoFundMe. Fans are crazy. They would throw $100, $200.
I mean, technically, that's what we're already doing when we buy gear and stuff, but you get what I'm going with this.
I mean, people donate money to us in the Super Chat, so I'm pretty sure they would donate to keeping Brandon Aiyuk here.
We got to get rolling, man. We got a preseason game tomorrow. I'm looking forward to seeing some of these guys. Is Ricky Pearsall even going to play tomorrow?
So
is Jacob Cowing even going to play tomorrow? I know Drake Jackson's out for the season. I haven't seen him since Pittsburgh.
Drake Jackson.
I'm not optimistic.
You and I were standing there talking, and I said, "Hey, when are you going to be ready?" And he kind of gave me that look.
He's like, "I'll be right."
We didn't go into detail, but I got the feeling it wasn't going to be.
Well, he gave us a D Ford. I got to get right first, and he sat on the cart, and he's not right. He's out for the season. Unbelievable.